Alright, hello and welcome to the Devstream 103 breakdown. So we heard about a lot today, all things considered. Like, the holidays are right around the corner. You'd expect DE to take some time off, because like people usually do around the holidays. But it seems like that instead we got a jam-packed final Devstream of the year, which I'm pretty into, all things considered. And first and foremost, we heard about the custom obstacle course. So this looks pretty cool. But my initial worry with this is that it won't... How do I put this? It won't be, like, repeatable. Like, you'll build, like, a cool obstacle course, and then, like, people will run it. And then, like, the work to tear it down, because it does cost resources to build, and, like, turn it into a different thing, would be, like, exorbitantly high, maybe. And, of course, those are placeholder values, which are incredibly low for a reason. But I worry that the cost would be too high to like change around and have like many things go on with this. However, I do think that this would be eligible for a really interesting way to go about it, in that if they were to like really go ham and treat this like fucking Mario Maker, which they did mention on stream, and make it so that like there's a level list that you can like load in and like change your dojo to like a new level and have like the whole like clear rates and all that business. I think that this might be the dopest. Like if they go the full distance and give it like the Mario Maker-esque treatment, it would be like really, really dope. And then like they could have like a ranking system for like which clan has the hardest like obstacle course. Oh, it would be so cool. It would be very, very cool if they went that like insane full distance for that, which like I don't expect them to. I'm just saying if they took what we're seeing here and then it went even further beyond to have like that kind of stuff, it would be the dopest and like hyper engaging dojo content. Like, for real. The one like major issue with that is probably that dojos are multiplayer. So like loading in a new course might be an issue and would maybe be like only the clan leader can do this or something, and then people, I don't know, or have it be instant. I don't know. There's some way to do this where it's the coolest shit ever, and I really like how it looks in theory. But I worry that without like being super robust, it would fall into not really being a thing people would play. But we'll wait until we see it. I think there's a ton of potential for that, though, to be absolutely awesome. Also, things that there's a ton of potential in: the personal quarters. So this is the last room in the Orbiter. This is the last door to be opened. And the DE has figured it out. They figured out what everyone wanted. We just wanted a big fucking room for fashion. It's just all the fashion things. Like, pretty much all the fashion things you could really want, they're here. So you have like a display for a Warframe where you can put in one of your loadouts and it displays them with the full colors and lighting and all that business, which looks dope. They have a full centerpiece display, which you can change out to be tile sets and things. They're going to add a decoration that is literally called Action Figure, which can be changed to whatever Warframe you want and posed, and like it will take all your colors and stuff on the little Action Figure version of your Warframe, which is insane. And in addition, there's like already pre-built shelving, so you don't have to make your own shelves. It's it's so dumb. Like it's so dumb that this is like an exciting thing, but also it's not dumb because like come on, like it's gonna be great. Like it's just gonna be awesome. Also, to make it so that this like works and is a thing people can expand into, they are making it so that the current decoration cap applies to each room individually, which is an effective like 4x multiplication of the current decoration cap, which, for those of you that are not aware, I personally am like basically at the decoration cap, and I have a couple hundred Clem noggles in my ship. So that's a lot of decorations. That's a significant amount of decorations, which it should be. It's going to be a time. Man, filling that room up with stuff. I might fill the entire shelving area with more Clems, I'll be honest. Because you guys send me a lot of those, and I might just fill up the whole shelving unit with Clems. It just might just be a Clem party in there. Anyway, there's that, and then in addition to that, a cool, like, probably like it's like a collector extension of gameplay type dealio, but is also neat, the jukebox, which is going to be a way for you to collect all of the songs in Warframe by going to the planets and getting the base, like the fragments, like we did with the Cephalon fragments. You would get the fragments for the songs, so that you can collect those, and then fill up this jukebox with all of the music in the game, which you can then play for your entire orbiter. And stuff like that. In addition to that, a thing I did not note is that also your orbiter is going to be multiplayer friendly, so whenever you invite people, they can just join your orbiter, and then they can see your dope shit, which, that's all we've really ever wanted. That's the biggest thing, if any, really. Although, honestly, the massive expansion to the decoration cap is that's a high level of optimization. That is many optimization. Because the current decoration cap is already very high, and that's a lot of fucking decorations, is basically what I'm getting at here. Anyway, that's really, really cool new features that are on the way. I really hope the obstacle course works out, and I'm 100% certain the personal quarters will. Also there's fish tanks that you can fill with fish. Sorry, forgot to mention that. There's also that. The personal quarters, it's going to work out. People are going to really like that update. Spoiler alert. So that'll be fantastic. Other fantastic changes, bounties are going to always reward standings. You're not going to have to wait for the 2-hour rotation in order to keep getting standing from that. So if you're farming, say, like the tier 4 bounty for something that you need, you're also still going to be getting your standing for the day, so you can kind of dual farm and go hard on trying to get certain drops and still also be rewarded standing-wise, which is going to make that system even better. And we saw a bit of Khora. So Khora looks interesting. We didn't see her 4th power, but we do know it is an exalted whip, which whips are very powerful, and I'm expecting her exalted weapon to be very powerful, especially because she can switch damage types. So she can change damage types, and she can crack her whip with her 1, which seemed to be sometimes effective, sometimes not. It seems like the whip was in a weird buggy place where sometimes it would do a ton of damage and be awesome, and sometimes it would do actually 0 damage. So I'm just gonna leave that up to it's the dev build, so we'll see how it actually plays out in actual practice. I imagine her 1 will be pretty solid, and her 2 is definitely very solid. It is a swipe that you can then entangle enemies, and if any enemies get close to the entangled enemies, they will also be entangled. So it's basically like a smaller scale in Naros 4 without the self-buffing that a Naros' thing does and all that, which is cool. That is going to be probably a very effective funnel crowd control ability, and it also does damage, so bonus on that. And her 3 is the thing that I was worried about, which is her summoning the Kavat. However, it seems like they have actually solved a major problem with having pet AI, which is that you can tell the cat what to do. In specific, you can tell the cat what to attack, and the Kavat is entirely customizable on its own. So you can customize its colors entirely and also give it its own mods, which is really, really important for the damage of that thing to be good. But because of that, it can do a big combo to an enemy. If it's out, you summon it with your 3, and then you hit 3 again to tell it to kill a motherfucker. With it having all of the Kavat mods potentially on it, it will actually be able to kill motherfuckers for a pretty large level spread if it has even slightly above the base stats of a regular Kavat as it stands right now, which is really cool. That means that her 3 is almost assuredly going to be very good. So that is surprising. I think the most questionable ability of hers, based on what they talked about, is probably her 2, because the crowd control might not be crazy enough. They were saying that it has a much longer duration on the dev build currently than it will probably ship with. So hopefully that ends up being a solid duration at the end point, and if it does, then it seems like Khora's kit is going to be very, very effective, provided her 4 is good. But as it stands now, all exalted weapons are at least okay, so I doubt that will go terribly for her. Also, she's beautiful. Khora looks fantastic. Although, I will say, in the orbiter, it looked like Reb was stuck in impact mode, and impact mode is the least fashion-friendly IMO, so hopefully you can switch her default form to be slash or puncture, which both look dope as hell. But her impact form doesn't look great for just standing around this is personal taste. It's just a little my thing. And also other cool things. We got to see 2 new eidolons, which we were expecting. The Megalist, which we saw it, and it is it's large. Let's use the word large. It's about 6 times the size of the Terrorist. It's a big boy. Has new weapons, new attacks, etc. And you're going to be able to fight it by killing the Terrorist, and then there's going to be a process, which they did not go into, and we're going to have to figure out, to summon the Megalist. And also, there is a form beyond the Megalist, which I actually did not catch the name of. Apologies. That is an even tougher version of the Megalist that is like cyan green and has its own weather system that follows it and rains down like chaotic lightning. So that's terrifying and will probably be super fun to fight. I'm excited for this. If they have it to be... So what I'm hoping that this does, this is the hope. I'm hoping that the time extension that it takes to kill the Megalist and the third form is not so much that it is not better, or that it is short enough, rather, that it is not better to continually go back to Cetus and keep fighting the regular Terrorist, unless that's all your group is capable of, which is totally valid. And that if you have a coordinated group, it makes it so that you're only really going back to Cetus, like, let's say once, but getting like way more rewards because you can defeat like all these big giant fucking dope monsters. That's the hope, because I really, really don't want it to be more rewarding to just keep killing the little Terrorist, because that would be a really big waste of this really dope shit the DE's making. Besides that, I feel like they're gonna nail like the Megalist and the further one beyond that being pretty fun, because the Terrorist, they pretty much nailed that boss fight being the best one in the game. So yeah, it's probably going to be super sick. I can't wait to fight those things. I wonder if they will release both of the further forms at the same time. That's probably my biggest wonder, really. Anyway, there's also going to be a Ghoul event, a recurring event on the plains, where like you have special Ghoul missions that reward certain things from the placeholder rewards, which might not be final. We saw the Hunter mods in there. So those of you that missed, say, Hunter Munitions, you'll be able to grab that. And also, the Hunter set bonus might affect Khora, so maybe you want to put one of those together. It's just like a preemptive thing. So like if you don't already have all the Hunter mods, maybe like seek out like the 1 or 2 you might be missing. Though I imagine most people got a full set of that. It was fairly easy to farm. Probably the first full set that most people would acquire in general. Besides that, there's going to be a dev workshop for the damage types. This is the main thing that I would ask people to be worried about, and make sure you look at that workshop. I will be doing a video on that workshop because it is so vitally important to the game. How we do damage as players is incredibly important. It's massively important. And DE's stated goals with these changes have been to change it so that impact and puncture can scale and compete with like slash and stuff. I would hope the slash would not receive like any, if many, changes really, as it is already very, very strong. And is also going to incorporate a lot of the other damage types. So that will be a vital dev workshop to provide your feedback on. And I would encourage everyone to like look out for that thread. There will be links to it in the video that I do on it, and give DE your feedback on like what you want the damage types to accomplish, because it looks like they're going to try and mix up the meta, and I think that that is an awesome goal, to make it so that there is a lot more choice with damage types you're going with, and it's not really mostly either corrosive or viral as it kind of stands right now. But yeah, it's a big worry for me, because changing the damage types of the game, kind of a vast change. And also, on a final note, there's going to be custom operator idols for each focus school. So as you unlock each school, you're going to also unlock the idol for that school. So I'm going to guess, this is just a guess right now, I'm going to guess that Unaira will be worth unlocking for the operator idol. That is my guess at current. And it will remain useless for basically everything else. Which is maybe a bit unfortunate. But that is what my guess is. I assume it will have a very cool operator idol and not much else. So that is Devstream 103. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be putting the borrow video out later tonight as I woke up a little late. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And also there should probably be a stream tonight, so look out for that. Head on over to the Discord, which you can get a link to in the description below if you want to be notified with those and all that business. And anyway, I'm terrible at ending videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow.